We are live. I am not very good looking on my screen, but it don't matter. Okay, guys. Hey, guys. This is J19 brought to you another Let's Talk PlayStation podcast. This is number 4, and we got some juicy topics for you guys. Jim Ryan on the Activision acquisition thing. We got Microsoft threatening to buy more studios, which Sony is as well. Final Fantasy 16 trailer is confirmed by Yoshi P for October. We will talk more about that and give my little thoughts on that. As I said in my previous video earlier today, I will talk more about that situation. And we got GTA 6. You guys probably already know about the leaks, the whole situation, but we'll go through over that as well. And then Oh, studio buying games or whatever. I've got the rest. But we got a lot to talk
All right,
about. We got a lot to
I
talk
remember
about.
the rest.
But
Um, the the ones you missed were Deviation Games, a new
Deviation Games.
update,
Okay.
games, and then a new PlayStation 5 model release is releasing in 2023.
Oh yeah, that's right. The juicy 2023 PS5 model, which we
It's
will
not,
go into it.
it's not though.
Yeah. So let's start off on the biggest news for me in this host category. I really want to cover. I will go first, by the way. So thank you guys for joining in. I'm the host J19 with with my secondary host here with Overexposure. You guys know who he is by now, and you guys know what I like to do, what I like to cover, what I like to play, and we don't need to go into details. But welcome, welcome. If you guys are watching this at a later date on YouTube, thank you guys for joining us uh, at a later date. For those of you who are going to be live or watching this at a later date as well on Twitch, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys want to hit the follow, subscribe, like, all that wonderful jazz. If you guys want to keep up with the latest PlayStation news, updates, leaks, whatever, we got you guys covered. This is start of a good long series road ahead. So, anyways, Final Fantasy 16 was announced by Yoshi P
Mm-hmm.
for a October trailer. Now, this got my brain
A lot of
spinning.
people.
My mind is spinning right now because, as I said in my previous video about Final Fantasy 16, I want to talk about what I think is going to happen
So what
now because
does
it's
that mean? Does that mean that Yoshi P is hinting at PlayStation Showcase in October? We don't know.
yeah, you know, I think
Yeah.
I think what's going on. I think what's going on. The only time we see anything of Final Fantasy 16, like trailers well, we got the website, we got him doing his interviews with the director and stuff like that. But whenever we see this game, it's been what the 2020. Okay, you got the 2020 PlayStation event. And then June 2nd of 2022, we got the second trailer, which is the Dominance trailer, which showed off, I think, almost all the icons, which was fantastic. But
Yeah.
hear me out. I think Final Fantasy 16 trailer is going to be a juicy one. It's going to be better than the Dominance one. And I think because we've been seeing this game linked with Sony heavily for the PlayStation 5, I think October now is almost like a confirmation that hey, you go see this in October. I don't think Jump Fest is big enough to handle Final Fantasy 16. It's going to be at the PlayStation Showcase,
It is.
and what I want to see at the you guys probably don't know this, or you guys do know this. What I want to see at the trail with the trailer, if they want to start off PlayStation event with Final Fantasy 16, go for it. Go for it. It's one of the most anticipated games in Japan. Go look it up. Like everybody's so worried about the price hike of the PlayStation 5 in Japan that they're worried that they can't play Final Fantasy 16 because they can't afford a
Really.
PS5. Yes, Japan is that worried about the price hike because Final Fantasy 16 is one of the most anticipated games of PlayStation 5 in Japan right now. But what I want to see from this trailer, I want to see more on Clive. I want to see what his character is. I want to see more world building. I want to see the world. I want to see Clive like walking around in the city, talking to
Is
NPCs and
Final
stuff.
Fantasy 16, is that going to be a sequel or is it going to be like a
It's
new
it's
game?
a whole new main line. It's not associated
So,
with Final Fantasy 15
so
or 14 or
don't have
whatever.
You don't have to play the other Final Fantasy games to
No,
understand.
no. Every
Okay.
other Final Fantasy game is its own universe, its own stories, its own lore, all that. The only time you actually got to worry about it is like the Final Fantasy VII, which is its own franchise now. It's got all these spin-offs and stuff of that. If you want to understand the lore of that game, then you got to play those games. You got to like, if you want to. Like Final Fantasy 15, you was forced to what? Read the book, watch the movie, play the DLCs to understand like the story and the characters. Now, the only ones you got to worry about before we move on to Final Fantasy 16 some more. Like Final Fantasy 13, that trilogy, those three games you had to play those to understand it. Final Fantasy 10 and 10 2. Those are like the only ones you actually had to play each significant game one after the other to understand the lore and the story and the characters. But after that, all the other Final Fantasies are not associated with each other. So you can go in 16 as fresh. You can be your first Final Fantasy game with 16, and you're good because we don't
Yeah.
know who we know some who the characters are somewhat. We got like 4 or 5 characters named. We know that it's a revenge story. We know that it's an action-packed game. You're gonna have freaking like kaiju fights with the icons, with the summons. Like summons are a big story focus in this one.
Yeah.
But I
I
want to see more like the
agree.
world. I want to see more
Yeah.
like the story, like the world building. I want to see more on Clive. What's Clive's story? What's his character like? Not just I will get my revenge. Like we know that, but like who is he as a person? That's what I want to see in the next trailer. If they start off the PlayStation event with that with a bang, that's awesome. Now another thing that points to an October showcase is remember a while back before like September hit, we had Millie A was talking about how like the Marvels, the higher up in Marvel, their ones look over like the Marvel games, and they saw Spider-Man 2 and they were like jaw dropped. Like it's like one of them was even thought they was watching a cinematic cutscene, but it's in game. Like and the person said gameplay to be shown soon. So that's 2 games right there. That's 2 heavy hitters. That's at
Listen,
PlayStation event.
I
That is,
think
I'm sold.
that yeah, with all that information, I think that PlayStation Showcase is definitely happening this year. I
Yeah,
don't know if it's gonna happen in October because we've seen leaks before say, guys, PlayStation Showcase in September, guys, it's gonna
yeah.
happen, it's gonna happen. It didn't happen,
But
right?
with Yoshi
And
P, when Yoshi
like
P
a lot
coming
of
out and telling us
like
about the trailer in October,
or
the only way to
Final
see a trailer is at a Sony, unless they have another state of play. But I think we're done with state of plays for this year. It's a
Fantasy.
PlayStation. Is there a PlayStation experience is coming back, or again the PlayStation Showcase? It makes sense
It's
because
gonna be like another event maybe because I really, really hope that we're gonna get a PlayStation showcase in October. I
and
really, really hope.
someone that
Every time,
welcome to the
it's gonna
stream if you're watching
happen.
this.
Every time I hope it's gonna happen, it doesn't happen. So like these leaks, it's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
we had so many leaks over the past. So many say even like there were leaks this year that there's gonna be a PlayStation showcase happening in March. Reliable sources too were saying that yes,
yeah,
reliable sources were saying that PlayStation showcase was happening in March. March didn't happen,
and
and
I'm
all
not.
again PlayStation showcase reliable sources. The most reliable source said PlayStation showcase is gonna happen in June. Didn't
Yes,
happen.
and you know what? I just I'm at the point now too. I'm like, you know what? I'll wait until Sony announces it. But I think now I have to switch gears because if Yoshi P says the trailer is ready in October, the only time we see a trailer of that game is at a PlayStation event of some sort. So could be a state of play. It could be a
Yeah,
dedicated state of play to Final Fantasy 16. Sony's
that would
bought
be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, Sony bought exclusive rights to Final Fantasy 16 for at least a year or
yeah.
more. So,
Or they could just drop the trailer out of nowhere. They
I
could
mean,
do
they
that.
could, they could, but then again,
Hopefully,
the only time we saw the trailer was at a Sony State of Play or a PlayStation Showcase. So it's like Sony has
Sony's not.
Sony has marketing rights for that game because they know that Final Fantasy sells, and if they can just say, "Hey guys, you are only playing this game on PS5," that's gonna force people to buy a PS5. Sony's just
Yes.
like, Thank you. Thank you for giving it
Feed me.
to me. Feed me, feed me, feed me. You know. So that's my take on it. I don't know what Overexposure has to say about the Final Fantasy 16 trailer. You can give your
Yeah,
thoughts of what you want to see from that game. Are you interested in it? Are you hyped for it? Are you kind of like, I'll wait and see? What's your take on Final Fantasy 16?
I'm actually very interested because when I was watching the PlayStation sh- showcase a couple of years ago, I watched it and it blew me away. Like the trailer was so amazing. I'm like, you know what? I actually recently just started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's just so good. It's so the gameplay, the
Yeah,
character, the story, everything about it is just amazing.
right.
And guarantee you, like after I play Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm probably gonna go on like a Final Fantasy game marathon where I play all the games because it's just
Yeah,
such a good series. And I'm like like almost halfway towards Final Fantasy VII right now. And it's like I want more, 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 because it's just so
right.
good.
And like
I can't wait for Final Fantasy
and
16.
like it's just like
I think that
it's just like with Rebirth. Like Rebirth is also a system seller. Like that's gonna be
yeah,
a Unreal Engine 5 PlayStation 5 game.
Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah,
Holy
that's a lot of people are saying. Like because
wow.
that trailer with Rebirth, like when you saw like Cloud being carried by a black haired guy, you probably don't
Mhm.
know who that is yet until you beat Remake. Um, when you see that, you think, wait a minute, is that CGI? Is that a CGI
Yeah.
cutscene? No, somebody. I talked to some people. They said that's in game. That's in game graphics right there. The thing
Really?
is,
I don't believe.
the problem with that trailer is Square refuses to release a 4K version of that trailer because it's gonna blow people away. That's why like the bit rate so freaking low when like they're just walking, like Sephiroth and Cloud's like just walking through the wilderness, like the mountain area. Like it's why the bit rate and then like it looks great. You can see like the scale, like you see the scale of the game. Like holy crap, man, this is a big PS5 game. Um, and even Yoshinari Kitase and Nomura also stated that you guys, like you as players, when you guys play Rebirth for PlayStation 5, it's like, how in the hell did you guys fit all this in one game? Like, it's a vast game, Rebirth is. Like, 16 is another vast game. It's not open world. It'll feel like an open world, but it's not open world. It's wide linear.
My question is for you. Do you think Rebirth or Final Fantasy 16? What do you think people are more excited for?
Oh, if I had to choose, I think 16 is gonna probably sell more.
Sell more? Yeah.
Yeah, because Rebirth, the problem with Rebirth is those people that play Remake were expecting a one for one remake of the game. They didn't get that. They didn't get that. It's a reimagining. Okay,
Hmm.
it's a it's just the Creative Business Unit 1 is in charge, right? They're in charge. Like you got different divisions of Square. The Creative Business Unit 1, Division 1, is in charge of Remake, right? The Final Fantasy 7 Remake project.
Yeah.
And they're the same artists. Majority of them are the same artists that made the OG 1997 Final Fantasy 7. Now, they could do a one for one remake, but a lot what does artists want to do, right? Artists don't want to do their own. They don't want to do their own art again, right? They want if they don't say if we're gonna redo this, I'm gonna redo this with a new look, give it a new fresh look.
Go with paint,
Yeah,
right?
it's not just oh I'm just gonna spruce it up with some extra color. No, they want to make a new masterpiece with still love from the original artwork. You know, still got the love from the original artwork, but in with a better made a learn like it's like they got new hardware, but like a painter. Let's say you had skills back then, but you learn over the years like man with the knowledge I have now, I can make this even better. I can
Right.
give it even a better look, like a better,
Yeah.
you know. 16,
Yeah.
16 is a really ambitious game. Like if you go through all the interviews back in July, your mind's gonna be roasted. It's like how in the hell they're gonna do all this in like on a PS5? Like this sounds insane. Like it's a very ambitious, big budget AAA game. That Sony's
And
like, we
the
got rights for it.
you know, the reason why all these games are able to achieve that is that it's all because of the PlayStation 5 hardware. I
Yeah,
think now developers are really taking advantage from the ground up the
yeah,
PlayStation 5. We're seeing that now with Last of Us Part 1. There's a bunch of videos online that shows like Naughty Dog, like interviews with Naughty Dog saying how we really took advantage of the hardware
yeah.
because we wanted to rebuild this masterpiece for PlayStation 5.
Oh,
And I think
did you
now,
know about this? Did you hear about The Last of Us Part 1, what kind of Easter eggs people are finding?
the
They're finding Final Fantasy 7 Easter eggs in that game.
Wow.
Like Cloud and Tifa like hugging, like facing away from the away from the player. They even
Naughty Dog,
found a portrait, like an old newspaper clipping. It's Barrett. Barrett's on there. Like people are finding Final Fantasy 7 like Easter eggs and The Last of Us. I think Naughty Dog is actually a big fan of what Final Fantasy 7 did back in the day.
yeah,
Just a thought, just
I
thought.
think, yeah. Now, I think we're transitioning into the parts where, okay, 2023 is really going to be a year where we truly start to see some big next gen games like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider Man 2.
Yeah,
Like, those are the games really going to strike people
like
as like
we
the
got
best
like we got even big heavy hitters. We got Hogwarts Legacy.
titles.
We got Dead Space remake. Resident Evil 4 remake. You got
Those are cross gen.
I know
Those
they're
are cross.
cross gens, but they still gonna be super. Like even look at God of War Ragnarok. That's cross gen in 2022.
Look,
If
yeah,
you watch my breakdown video of that trailer,
yeah,
that game, even though it's cross gen, blows my freaking mind on how good it looks. It is a
yes,
next gen looking game. I
it
said,
is.
you know what, Guerrilla Games? This is how your cross gen game should look like.
Uh,
Horizon Forbidden West has some memorable moments in there. It blew my mind how pretty it looked. But there's other moments, it's like, man, just the visuals are like locked away by this like grainy filter, like kind of like
mhm.
how my camera is, a little grainy. It's like it looks good, like it looks great, but it's like, like just
Yeah, I mean, when I see a game like Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, Ragnarok beat cross gen, it tells me that they're not fully taking advantage of the PlayStation 5 SSD
yeah,
because with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, um, they Insomniac completely took advantage of the SSD with how fast it traveled the worlds,
yeah,
and I was and when I was playing that game, it blew my fucking mind because I'm
yeah.
like, dude, how can you travel through dimensions that fast? And I feel like Ratchet and Clank was like just a taste.
Well,
Um,
it's just like Astro's Playroom. Like everybody
yeah,
played it like the first day they got it, but after the first update, it loaded like a half a second. The game loaded up in half a second. People's like, what? It's already fast. You tell me I can load up faster than that? It's like, holy crap, man! Like that's the
and
power of the
I think
PS5. Like,
yeah, and listen, when Naughty Dog released Last of Us Part Two back in a couple years ago,
yeah,
I released on PS4, and Last of Us Part Two still to this day looks like a next gen game.
right.
Even with some of the PS5, it looks even better than some of the PS5 exclusives. And I can't imagine how like what Naughty Dog's next project is gonna be like towards the end of this generation.
Right.
It's gonna be absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, I can't fathom what games will look like. Like we're already starting to see it. Like God of War Ragnarok you're starting to see a transition. Like Santa Monica is. Trust me, a lot of people saw the last 3 minute trailer we saw, like not the
Yeah.
story one, but one we showed a little bit of gameplay. There's a lot
Mhm.
of people complaining. It's like Santa Monica. This still looks like a 2018 game. Like it doesn't look any different. But now people watching this trailer, the story trailer, they're freaking mind blown how good it looks
Oh
now. Like
yeah,
I'm glad that Santa Monica delayed this game for a whole year because it
yeah.
needed it. It needed the extra polish.
And now I want you to imagine, Janine.
Yeah.
And now I want you to imagine. What if God of War Ragnarok was PlayStation 5 exclusive? How better do you think it would look?
Oh, it was like every area, like like the forest, the jungle area,
Yeah.
like that would look they would look like all the way if you look rotate Kratos all the way around, you wouldn't see any low poly texture at all.
No.
It'd be high tech, next gen only textures. But
Yeah,
you
it
will
is.
see like majority of the games will look pretty, but I bet you if we all little nitpick here, go, oh, this rock ain't all the way polished. Or
Yeah.
this leaf looks a little differently. If you pass through some brush, you stop like right when it's cutting in the camera and go, man, yikes. This looks like PS4 quality,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like if God of War Ragnarok was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, um, we would there would be some set pieces in the game that just wouldn't be possible on the
Right.
PS4. Um, you know, there's so many PlayStation 5 exclusives. Well, actually, there's not many, but some of the PlayStation 5 exclusive games that are going to be releasing, there's going to be scenes in that game where it's just not going to be. There's too much going on screen for
Yeah.
the PS4. If it probably ran on PS4, it'd probably explode and turn into a jet plane falling out.
And you can tell the difference between a PS4 and PS5 game. Like if you look at you froze. You froze up.
Huh?
Yeah, you froze up there for a second.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're not frozen anymore. It's just
Uh,
your camera quality is dying on you. But anyways, like I was saying, if you go back and compare like we'll say Horizon Forbidden West, if you look at the PS4 footage compared to PS5, you saw more foliage in PS5 than you did PS4 version.
yeah,
It still looked
yeah,
good. They still look good, but because of high demanding that game is, they had to cut out more foliage in the PS4 to make it run smooth.
yeah.
Um, but it's the same. You know,
Well, I
I'm looking forward to play 2023
think
games.
God of War
But speaking
Ragnarok
of,
is gonna look great. Listen, I think God of War Ragnarok is still gonna look great on PlayStation 5. It's gonna run great.
oh yeah,
But I do feel like God of War Ragnarok, it's not 100% taking advantage of the PS5. I think maybe like they're taking 50% advantage, not 100%. Right?
yeah,
Like what Insomniac is doing with Spider-Man 2, the PlayStation 5 hardware, they said that you're gonna be able to swing faster, like I think like 1.5 times faster because of the PS5 SSD, how fast it can go. So we're
right,
gonna be able to swing faster in the city. There's gonna be like more higher textures. The buildings are gonna be more detailed, and I just can't wait. And
right.
and some of the set pieces are gonna be freaking mind blowing. So I can't wait for Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is also gonna be a massive
Right,
system.
absolutely,
Well,
absolutely. And speaking of, you know, let's switch a little gears. We had a little, oh, well, not a little. You guys probably know the news, probably already heard the news over the past couple days or so. And I've been gone. I've been paying attention. But Rockstar had a breach in the security source code, and we already know what happened. There's some people took advantage of it. It's a trending game, right? Everybody wants to know GTA 6, and a lot of people started posting this hackers all this work that the hackers done with all these gameplay footage of like an old alpha build with all the with all the like the source codes on in front like popping in and out. They even show like actual like further along build, and he's even threatening now, folks. He's even threatening now to even release even more current footages of GTA 6. We saw these like these footages we saw like the later footages as he kept releasing a little at a time, and
mhm.
it became like an hour long. It's an hour long gameplay footages from alpha all the way until like I don't know how many months behind, but he's even got current gen. He's even got like current like build of the game. He's gonna want to release to the public, and the FBI
Let me
is on
ask you,
him now.
the FBI is on him?
Yeah, the FBI, the lawyers, and all that. He screwed up.
Oh,
He did something, and now
probably gonna.
they learn where he's at. But he's still threatening. He's gonna release everything to the public.
Wow.
And like Rockstar, like Naughty Dog reached out to him, and some other studio. I forgot who the other studio
Right.
was, but
Chuckman reached out.
yeah, yeah, they reached out to him and said, "Hey, you know, I know how it feels to get your stuff leaked. because they had their
Mhm.
leaks of their own 2020, and it sucked because when the leaks started coming out 2019, 2020, like it started hitting people hard to the point where nobody wanted to play this game. Like, oh no, these leaks are true. This game is trash. Naughty Dog understands like what a leak or a hacker or anybody like leaks your stuff, how bad of an image you can have on yourself. Like they felt sorry for Rockstar. I can't even imagine what the parent company Take Two is feeling. They're the parent of Rockstar right now. They're looking down, and go, yeah. It's like, what's going on? It's like you Rockstar, you got a bad case going on here. It's like you better nip this in the butt, or we're all in trouble. Like because it makes Rockstar look bad, and guess who's going to take the blame for it? Take Two, right? They're the parent company. So like they haven't like Take Two. I don't know if Take Two ever came out and said anything, but Rockstar even came up with a statement. Um, it's on my Discord. I uh, I read a little bit of it, but like they're like just reminding people that yes, this is all true. It's all legit. The leaks are real. Um, they felt bad about it, but like they put their foot down and say we are. It doesn't mean we're delaying anything. Everything's still proceeding as planned, and we're gonna have to just deal with it because they gotta deal with it the best they can, but they can't halt on production of GTA 6
See
or
a
even
lot of
online.
yeah. I see a lot of people um going around saying, "Hey, this is good news." We're seeing early gameplay and new leaks. I'm like, guys, no, this is terrible.
Right,
Like, okay, it might be like it would be okay if like one clip leak or like a screenshot. Sometimes I get excited if like there's a new leak or like PlayStation Showcase, right? It's gonna happen, right? I get excited, but with something like this, like this is not good for. This is horrible. This is just terrible. This is outright
right.
terrible
And
for
I felt
Rock.
bad in 2020
Right?
with like The Last of Us Part 2, even Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Like Square Enix went on a holiday in 2019,
This is
right? For New
hurting.
Year's. He went on New
This is
Year's
hurting.
and like they
This
was
is
on
hurting
vacation and
Rockstar.
all of a sudden everything got blown out of the water. And the same thing with Rockstar.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like this is hurting Rockstar because they're really trying to make a next gen authentic Grand Theft Auto game, and
Yeah.
people coming out here looking at footage and say, yeah, I don't play it. Looks bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like you have to understand, like this is pre-alpha footage. It's not supposed to look good. This is
Right.
pre-alpha. They're still
And
working on.
and I
It's not
taught
the final. What you're seeing is not what you're seeing right now of Grand Theft Auto 6. That's not what you're gonna see
no.
come
Of
launch
course
day.
not. The game's not coming out till like 2027 anyways. It's a long project.
No, yeah,
But
I
anyways,
think it's
I talked
releasing.
to somebody who saw the footages, and they said that
Yeah,
this is he has dev kits, like he buys dev kits online and stuff like that, and he can tell right away that early alpha stuff that means they've been developing this thing since like the PlayStation 4 is still strong. Is that the alpha
really.
footage we saw is actually PlayStation 4 Pro dev kit, but
No,
I haven't watched any
don't
of it.
tell me.
I
Don't
I
tell me it's cross-gen.
I don't know if it is anymore, but I, people are making fun of it. They go, "Oh, look, it's not next gen; it's a last gen game." They're mocking Rockstar. It's
Yeah,
like, you know what? You guys don't understand. Their work is being exposed, and they're not supposed to show anything until they have something ready for us. Like, you guys want to make
yeah,
fun of this, but wait until GTA. I hope GTA 6 will rebound, which it will, because they said we are not delaying anything. They said don't worry about our online, our GTA Online. That's still going strong. We're not gonna delay anything. Everything's gonna proceed as planned. I wasn't a big fan of GTA 5. Not gonna lie, like GTA 4 was cool, was good. I had enjoyed it. GTA 5, I tried to get into. I just kind of fell off. I tried the online portion. I didn't really care for it. I got an hour with a friend of mine. I'm like, can I play something else?
yeah. All I played for GTA 5 was just the story mode.
Yeah.
That was all. It wasn't like You know, I do feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 is kind of an overrated game, in,
Yeah.
in a sense. You know, that's how I feel. But
But
I feel like now,
do I want to see GTA 6 succeed and do even better than GTA 5? Absolutely. Like if GTA 6 can come out and do stuff that GTA 5 like story and like all that was like lacking, like they might get my attention because I used to like GTA. I played GTA Vice City, San Andreas. I played the fourth one with you know but then it's just like I fell off. But like if they want me back on the bandwagon, it's like stop milking GTA Online, which is fine. You want to do that, but like I need a new game. Like while
like I've been
I
dying,
was hoping that they would do
been
like
dying.
something, you know?
Yeah, I've been dying for like a Red Dead Redemption remaster, or like a Red Dead Redemption
Yeah.
2
Like
five upgrade.
when I heard rumors of that, and then they cut that down. Like Rockstar's like, we're not doing a remaster at this time. It's like, oh, I
You
mean,
know,
I
a
really
Red Dead,
wanted one, you know?
yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 was like one of my favorite PS4 games ever. I love that game. You know, and I was planning to actually replay the game all the way through when the PlayStation 5 version upgrade was going to be released. And then when I heard that it's not happening, I'm like, it broke
Yeah.
my heart. It broke my
Right.
heart because I really wanted to see what Red Dead Redemption 2 looks like on next gen hardware like PlayStation 5.
Yeah, because
And you know, play as
that game in 2018 I bought because I love Western games. A lot of you guys don't really know this, but I love Western games. I played a lot of them back in the past, but just hasn't been a whole lot of Western games now. But like I tried to play Red Dead Redemption 1 on the 360, which it was fine, but man, Red Dead Redemption 2, all those people voted for God of War to win 2018. My goatee for 2018 was actually Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2. The story in that game with Arthur Morgan is one of the best
so
storytelling of
fantastic.
all time. Like just
Fantastic.
seeing his like emotions, like decisions what he has to make, and like whatever decisions you make affects the ending. Like I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like the ending I got almost brought tears to my eyes because what happened to Arthur Morgan. I was like, holy crap, man! This game had that Western authentic feel, and the amount of details they put in that game, like with the horses and the environments. It's like how can anything compete with this? But God of War won.
But it's still a great game, right?
Right?
God of
Yeah.
War,
Like Red
Dead
Dead Redemption
Redemption 2.
2 is actually one of my. It's got to be in my top 10 video games of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why, you know, I was actually planning. And I
Yeah.
had some. I'm like, oh great, you know, we're getting Red Dead Redemption remaster, and we're getting Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, the next gen upgrade. And I was actually planning that I was gonna have a full Red Dead Redemption marathon when it
Yeah.
got remastered and the Red Dead 2. And I'm like, now I can't do that. I can't
Right.
do that. And I'm so pissed. All that Rockstar cares about now is Grand Theft Auto Online. It fucking pisses me off. Like,
Right.
I understand. We don't want GTA Online. Give us something else. We're getting tired. All you care about GTA Online, GTA Online this, GTA Online, GTA Online that. Like, stop. Just stop milking for once. Please, Rockstar. You did a
Right.
fantastic job. Like, you, you created one of the best games of all time. We
And
know you can do it.
people still want to fight
You
me
know,
on this, but in my opinion,
we know that you
Red
can do
Dead
it, Rockstar.
Redemption 2 is Rockstar's best game they ever made.
I
Best
agree with
game,
you.
hands down.
I agree.
I don't care all the other Grand Theft Autos came out before, or whatever other titles they worked on in the past. Everybody goes, "What about Red Dead Redemption 1?" I tell you what, Red Dead Redemption 1 probably had a good story with John Marston, but Red Dead Redemption 2 for its era, for the 2018 gaming era, like it is one of the above. It's like
It's
it's a
fantastic.
game that's like, man, this is Rockstar's best game they ever made. Like I played it, I was just immersed. I was immersed. It's like one of the games I ever immersed. I'll go back if I want to just lay back, chill game. I'll put in Red Dead Redemption 2, and I like to ride a horse and enjoy the view.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I actually used to in Red Dead Redemption 2 when I played on PS4. I was so mind blown that I was literally like sitting down just to watch the sunrise. It was beautiful, and
Yeah,
I sat there for an hour just mind blown. I'm like, how'd they do this? Like even the textures on PS4, they were so high res, like
right,
so high res, and just imagine that, like they're on PS4, but enhanced for PlayStation 5.
right. It's
Imagine,
just,
but it's just
but
they don't care. They don't care because Red Dead Redemption is not making them money, and all they care about is the
yeah,
bottom
even
line.
even like Red Dead Redemption Online had potential, but it just fell flat. It fell flat. Like I can tell it fell flat. Like it started off good. Like the story started good. Like you just got out of jail and you need work and stuff, so you do these jobs. But like it just kind of fell apart for me. But I'm
Hmm.
so thankful. I'm so thankful that now they are saying, hey, you guys want Grand Theft Auto 6? It's in the works. But it's sad that it got leaked like this. This is pathetic. Not by Rockstar, but this guy that's call himself the hacker or whatever. He's just like he has ransom demands, whatever. He's like, oh, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, it's like, you know what, buddy? You know what? You think you're cool, but it's like, come on, just what are you doing? What are you getting out of this? Publicity? You want to be well known to a person that you're the only one that leaked Grand Theft Auto 6? Like, dude, it's like people talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 before you even came around. Like, but yeah. Anyways, in other news, we got the Activision Jim Ryan situation going on, and a lot of people are attacking Jim Ryan because, oh no, Sony needs to shut their mouths. What's Sony doing? Why are they fighting us? Sony just let it go. They lost. Microsoft won. But you know what? Sony has the right, in my honest opinion. I'll let you share too. I gotta get this off my chest. Sony has the right. I'm gonna look at you guys in the camera. Sony has the right to fight this. Wanna why? Because majority of the Call of Duty player base is on their platform. If Sony just lets that slide and say Microsoft do whatever you want, if Sony just laying down and let Microsoft just walk over them, Sony knows they got millions and millions of players that play Call of Duty on PlayStation platform. And I know Microsoft and Phil Spencer said, "Oh, we're planning on having a few years and years down the road for Call of Duty to be on PlayStation platform." But Jim Ryan was upfront. He said, "No, you only gave us an extra 3 years. 3 years with a PlayStation brand to have the Call of Duty series on their platform. But what happens after that? You guys said we believe in keeping it cross-platform for other players to play it, not just locking it behind. But that just shows me that Microsoft's already got planned. They want to keep this at Game Pass, Microsoft, Xbox exclusive, and then even though they said we plan on making this available on Switch, if that's the case, then how come you only giving Sony an extra 3 years on their platform? So, in my honest opinion, Jim Ryan stepping up like he did and say, "Hey, whoa, 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 whoa! I'm glad you guys are looking further into this because it ain't right. It ain't right. You know, Sony might have, they might have first thought, okay, maybe it's cool that Microsoft finally got some IPs that help make their player base even better, like for Call of Duty and stuff like that. But Sony's got to think and say, wait a minute here, our player base is at stake. If we don't say anything, people just saying, "Well, Sony, you're lazy. You guys are spineless. You guys are just like
You
either
know,
way, either
the end
way,
of the day,
Jim Ryan's just like he's stuck in the middle. But I'm glad he's standing his ground. He needs to.
but Jim Ryan, since the start of this generation, since he became CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, I have seen Jim Ryan just completely erode.
Yeah,
Okay, and I'm not trying to sound like that, but remember when he said we believe in generations, and then
yeah.
they announced that Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok was going to be cross gen.
And he got a lot of
That
heat for it.
Yeah, it did, and like literally when they said we believe in generations, they did the exact opposite of that. The
Yeah,
exact opposite. And just fans were just like, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me?" And not only that, but Jim Ryan said, "Oh, by the way, guys, we're not only gonna make it cross gen, but you're gonna have to pay $10 to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version."
Right.
And and he said, Jim Ryan, when they announced that it was gonna be free upgrades. No, when he announced that it's gonna be cross gen,
Yeah. Right back. Go grab
he
my drink.
announced that. Yeah, he announced that those upgrades were gonna be free, like Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo, God of War Ragnarok. All those upgrades were gonna be free. Now, not only did he go back on his word and lie, this is unacceptable. Not only did
Right.
he go back on his word and lie, but with Horizon Forbidden West, you had to buy the deluxe version if you wanted both the PlayStation 4 version and the PlayStation 5 version. There was
Yeah.
no upgrade to PS4 and PS5. So
That's
not only
why.
did you go back
That's
on your
why I just
word,
said screw it. I just bought the PS5 version. But I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
but
Mm.
I'm thinking about PS4 owners who were wanting to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version when they got their hands on a console, and they were just completely screwed. It's like either I buy the $80 deluxe edition, or I have to buy the game twice.
Right.
And I feel like when we come together as a community and we make our voices be heard politely and respectfully, Sony will acknowledge that and they'll say, "Okay, guys, I don't know if this is right. We lied, and we're a company. We try to make money, but we
Right.
should do something nice to our fan base." So they went back and they actually said, "Hey guys, you know what? We're gonna offer free upgrades for Horizon Forbidden West from PS4 and PS5," and I feel like they got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
They
And
got a
they
lot of
and they got backlash for the PS5 price hike and the Last of Us Part One, like Firefly Edition. Like we're not offering refunds or nothing, but now they are. They're offering refunds of whatever limited supply they have, but like it's very limited. It's like, well, about time. But like, where was this when the first reports came out? Like people receiving the packaging, and they found out, like we said in the last podcast or so, that they found out that their packaging production was having issues. Like some of them had issues, and it's just like I guess either they is like rushed or something. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but they found out, and they, of course, a lot of the people's copies came in fine, but some people didn't, and so Sony's been under a lot of fire. And so Jim Ryan's speaking up about the
at
Activision Blizzard deal because he's trying to stand up for what's right, and
the end
it's
of the
just like
day. End of the day, the Jim Ryan. I think I called it Jim Ryan. At the end of the day, J19. Um, I think that Jim Ryan's main goal is the bottom line. It's just to make money. He's not a gamer. Jim Ryan's not a gamer. He doesn't care about the fans. He doesn't care. He is a businessman, and his only goal is to make money. That's why I've been saying we need
right.
a new PlayStation CEO. We do it. It's time for a new person, okay? Because I want a PlayStation CEO who cares about the fans, who's passionate about the PlayStation brand, right? Who loves you, who's passionate
Yeah,
about them.
and a lot of people think that Phil Spencer is on the wrong team.
Yeah,
They think that Phil Spencer will fit perfectly under PlayStation management
I
because
would. Yeah, because with Phil Spencer, he's not taking risks. You know,
no,
obviously they do take some risks, but they're just going out and buying
yeah,
studios because they're $1 trillion company. I'm like, okay, you went out, you bought Bethesda, you bought Activision Blizzard, but you have nothing to show for it. 2 years ago, they
yeah,
announced that they
and
were
now
Bethesda, and
three
now
four
they
three
announced
three four three is having
two
people
years
being let
ago.
go.
They
So it's like
said that they were going to acquire. No, 2 years ago they acquired Bethesda, and they said, guys, we're going to acquire Bethesda. 2 years later, there's nothing. There's nothing.
we
There's
got
nothing.
we got Starfield coming out this year or next year.
That's about it.
But games do take time. But if Xbox Studios, I know, or it's supposed to
Xbox Game Studios.
less top PlayStation, but Xbox Studios, I will say this: they have a lot of IPs in development, but the problem is it's taking so long for each one to come out. Like they have Scorn coming out, they got Starfield coming out soon after that. They got games coming out, and they finally got season 3 of Halo coming out. But like the thing is, it's like Sony on the other hand, yes, under Jim Ryan's tutelage, they are busting out. They're busting out AAA games every 6 months. It seems like every
Oh,
6 months we got 1 or 2 games coming out. Like, or sometimes a little less, depends what year. Like this year we had what? We had 4, right?
Horizon
We
Forbidden
had 4 of
West,
them.
Gran Turismo, Last of Us Part One,
Horizon Forbidden
and
West and God of War Ragnarok. That's
that's 4 AAA games.
yeah, spread out evenly throughout the year, and that's good. That's a good year for Sony.
It is, yeah.
Microsoft on their hand, people said, yeah, they could release games. I go, well, any of them like AAA big budget games like Sony? I'm
That's
like,
why I keep saying all the time, Sony is absolutely on fire. They are,
yeah,
and they're gonna continue. And they're actually Herman Hulst. He said that they're gonna continue to advance gaming, and he said that we're gonna make games that matter,
yeah.
games that you're not
Herman
buying.
Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios, he's done a masterful job
He's
with
done.
every studio. Like he's going to each studio in the big wherever they're located, and he's going to each studio and go, okay, how's progress going? Is there anything we can do to make things better? And under Herman Hulst, it's like it seems like everybody's just working great. Everybody's pumping out games. Everybody's got projects
Herman
under,
Hulst is like
you
the
know.
perfect. You know, Herman Hulst is like the perfect president for
Yeah,
PlayStation Studios. It seems. You know why? Because Sony's not gonna stop acquiring these small teams. What they
yeah,
do is they acquire small teams and they work with them. They work with them, right?
yeah.
Like
Sony as a mother, right? A parent. They buy these little smaller studios like Insomniac. We had Insomniac for or Naughty Dog, right? They wasn't that
yeah,
big.
smaller
What they do?
studios, yeah,
They helped them grow and nurture them, and they got bigger. They
yeah.
got bigger, right? Just like
That's what
Haven Studio. They're a small group, but eventually,
they're
whoop, like
gonna grow.
yeah,
And that's what the great thing about Sony is, they don't just go out and buy a massive $10 billion companies
right,
like Microsoft. They buy these small teams and they grow them, they nurture them, they feed them like babies, right?
right.
Like when a mother is feeding a baby its milk, they grow them, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's just
yeah,
like Sony acquired Nixxes, right? A very powerful PC porting team, right? They got Haven Studios to help work on like smaller live service games and stuff like that. They what else do they hire? They hire a mobile game studio, right? Because Sony wants to start investing in like maybe remote play and stuff like that and mobile games. There's nothing wrong with that. People want to cut down mobile gaming, but there is a revenue out there for mobile gaming. There is. Like
yeah.
you look at mobile gaming, like you look at their revenues, like people spend people spend money on that stuff for gotchas and all that. Like Sony gets involved with that, man. It's like Sony's hooked, you know?
Oh yeah, and
Just like
like
Bungie. Why did Sony
well,
buy Bungie, right? People go, "Oh, this is a frontal assault on Microsoft." Say, Microsoft, Bungie wanted you to buy them for a cheaper price, but Sony's like, "Yoink, that's mine." No,
yeah,
Sony saw what Bungie's doing with Destiny 2, and Sony's like, "Hey, Bungie, we're gonna buy you, but here's the thing. You guys are experts at keeping Destiny 2 with content. It's a live service game, right? It's an MMO. You guys are keeping us alive. People are loving your content, and you got one hell of a player base, right? Guess what?
yeah.
Sony goes, we want to have live service games like The Last of Us multiplayer, right? That's going to be a live
Mhm.
service game. Guess what? Bungie goes, Sony, we got you, fam. We got you. We'll show you the ropes. We'll show you what made it works for Destiny 2, and you can apply that knowledge, that understanding to that game or the other 10 other live service games you got coming out like within a few months. Like I'm ready. I'm excited to see what they got. Um, just like Sony, like Microsoft said they're gonna buy more. They got more acquisitions coming. Sony does too. Sony knows what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're not gonna go out and
So
buy big budgeted like companies like Bethesda
I
and all
think
like
we can
that.
all
But they know what Sony wants, and Sony goes, we'll buy this because this is a
we can all
strategy.
agree
This is a strategy
that
department. You know.
Microsoft. I think that we can all agree Microsoft kind of missed the mark. No, didn't kind of. They completely missed the mark with Xbox One. Completely missed the mark.
They did. They did.
You
And
know,
they're making up for it
I
for the
look at.
Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series is selling phenomenal. It's gonna outsell the Xbox One
I think.
because they
I
done
think
something
the
better for it.
Xbox.
You know?
I think the Xbox Series X is gonna do miles better than the Xbox One. But you know, getting back to what I was
Yeah.
saying, uh, I look at PS4 and Xbox One, and I immediately just think PlayStation 4 was a massive hit. It was a massive hit
Yeah.
console because that's when we really that's when we really start to see these teams shine. Like the PlayStation Studios, that's when we
Oh
really
yeah.
started to see
Oh yeah. Like
shine.
I'm gonna
Naughty
say
Dog
this.
with
Like
the
PlayStation
last.
4, PlayStation 4 was like it was my starting position where I started hammering on AAA games. It wasn't until
Oh, yeah.
2016 I started hitting the AAA games hard. Or 2015
Yeah.
when I like Until Dawn. Like Until Dawn was one of the first like PlayStation exclusive game that I played and I was like, "Holy crap, man, I want more of this. I want more like big budgeted game like this." And Uncharted
What
4
I was
came along and that got my attention. And then
yeah.
so on and so forth.
Back to what I was saying. Like we really start to see these PlayStation Studios teams shine, and you know deliver these big, massive AAA games. And I feel like PS5 owners are like, PS4 owners are like, holy shit, man, these games are amazing. Like Uncharted 4,
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, those games like blew people away so much,
yeah,
and to the point where people rushed to the stores and bought them, including me. Okay,
yeah.
after watching people praise about God of War, I'm like, dude, I have to buy PS4, and I went out and I got the Uncharted 4 PS4 bundle, and I loved
Right?
it.
You
I
know what?
loved this game.
That was my first ever PS4 bundle I bought too. My
Really,
first PS4 was
really,
included Uncharted 4. Yes.
I love Uncharted 4.
Once I saw Uncharted 4, I'm like, I gotta do research. I watched the trailer for that game. I was mind blown. Okay, I'm buying one.
Um, it wasn't recently until I actually beat Uncharted 4, and I know with the PS5 update when I played it on the PS5 upgrade.
Yeah,
I played it all the way through. Like, dude, Naughty Dog is like king. They are king. They know exactly what they're doing, and they love what they do. They love what they do. Um, and with Uncharted 4, they absolutely nailed it. Uncharted 4 is the perfect adventure game. It's the best adventure game. And I keep saying that, and I can't stress that enough. Uncharted 4 is one of the best adventure games yet. It has heart, it has great characters, great
yeah,
story, set pieces, great gameplay. It's a perfect game. It's a
it
perfect
is.
game.
And you know what Uncharted 4 did? Uncharted 4 helped raise the stakes for when Naughty Dog goes, how can we make The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay even better? They took what they learned from the first Last of Us and Uncharted 4. They took every single knowledge they learned from those two games. That's how we got the masterpiece gameplay of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm sold. I'm sold. So, like,
That's why
yeah,
Last of Us Part 2, I think, is one of the games that right now we're looking back on that we say, okay, I think we can all agree. Last of Us Part 2 is the best looking PlayStation 4 game, and it's one of those games that completely, from the ground up, took advantage of the PlayStation 4 console
yeah.
in a way that no other game did. No other game did. Like, even like the details from the trees, the textures,
Right.
the lighting,
The
shadows, everything about it.
the character models look so real. Like I don't know how they did it on the PlayStation 4. Like they did some wizardry with that, and like they just made it work on the PS4 and playing at a solid 30 FPS. It was a solid FPS game, like 30
But
FPS, a
playing it on
masterpiece game. Like wow,
playing it on PS5 with 60 FPS,
yeah,
I loved it. I actually played it twice. I played it once on PS4, and then when I got my PS5, I played it
right,
with
yeah,
60 FPS.
yeah.
Like,
I'm still playing through the 60 FPS mode, but yeah, it's freaking
yeah,
phenomenal. Like it brings out
yeah.
like you take what the game looks like and put 60 FPS frame rate on it, patch, and man, it's a PS5 game.
I can't. That's why I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
With what Naughty Dog has done with Last of Us Part Two, everything they learn and
yeah.
just improve upon it better. You know.
Absolutely. And like speaking of PlayStation 5, we have some news for those of you who don't know. But Sony has come out with there's some websites that talk about it, but it's confirmed that there's gonna be PlayStation 5 in 2023 console that it has a detachable uh the disc, like the disc attachment is actually removable now, which people said, why would you do that? Like, I'll tell you why, guys. This is from my perspective. When you have issues with the PlayStation 5 and you need to take it apart and like and see what's going on, with the current systems now, you would have to like dissect the PS5 big time, right? You have to
Oh
take
yeah.
a lot of parts out just to get to the disc tray. Now, the disc tray will be detachable, so you can take that part off, and if you're having a problem with this tray, now you can just look at it and say, okay, now I can work on this. It's it's a PS5 owner's dream. If they have trouble with the disc tray, like they can't get the game out as easy, right? Now with a detachable disc tray, now that's awesome. Now they can get the game out a lot easier. That is a godsend. Like and
Yeah, and for me, when I first got my PlayStation 5, I'm like, oh my god, no! Like when I opened it, I'm like, I'm not gonna have space for this. I can't play my PS5.
yeah,
I'm like, I spent like a good 5 minutes deciding, okay, where should I put this? Should I put it here? Should I put it here? And I finally found a place where I could put it. And I'm like, this console is gigantic.
it is.
Like it's almost it's like my 3070 PC tower right here,
Yeah,
right? My PC tower. Like it's insane how big it is. And I feel like with the PS5 Slim,
yeah.
right? With the PS5 Slim, hopefully gonna come out.
Yeah,
I want them to
that's what a lot of
make.
people want. Like I talked to a lot of people. They would rather take a
Mhm.
PlayStation 5 Slim over a PlayStation 5 Pro. Just
Really?
give us a Slim. They said, give us a Slim one. The system's already big. We don't need it bigger. Hell, the thing's about
Yeah.
as tall as my PC tower. My PC tower is big. This thing tower. The PS5 is just as big. I mean, just as tall. Like not quite just as tall, but just about. And
Yeah.
I could see people want a slimmer one, they not like a shorty, like a little short one like this, but a little shorty one, right? Just a slim
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit not so wide, maybe a little bit like a digital one, but slim.
Uh,
I could see why, because the space don't have the required space for the PlayStation 5. It's so bulky, so huge. When I pulled it out of the box, I was like, how am I supposed to handle this thing? This thing's about as tall as my torso, and I got a long torso, so it's like, man, this thing's huge. So for me, I can see why people want to slim because it's it's spacious, right? They got space for it. But for me,
yeah.
this is my issue with the PlayStation 5 is it's 2022, right? I got a gaming PC, obviously. So
Yeah.
I can have high refresh rates with awesome looking resolution. It makes the games look fan freaking tastic. Like if I boot up God of War, I can play at max settings. It'll beat out the God of War 2018 version on the PS4. It'll beat it out because it looks like a play. It looks, you know what? I saw gameplay footage of that, man, on the running on
Mhm.
max settings on my setup. It is like it looks just like God of War Ragnarok PS5 version. It looks that good.
Really?
Yeah, the visuals, the textures, and all that run at a high like frame rate on max settings.
Oh
But
man.
the problem with I know, guys, I know what you guys gonna say in the
Wait,
comments. I can see it now,
God
dude.
of
You comparing PC to console. Stop. This ain't PC Master Race crap. I know that, guys. I'm not PC Master Race. I play on PS5 too. PS5 is my baby. Okay. The only problem with the PS5 I have is we're still deciding. You want 4K, 30? You want 1080p 60? Which one do you want, folks? You want 4K? You want 60? I'm thinking to myself, it's
We
funny.
want both,
It's
Sonny.
funny,
We want both.
but it's funny. But what I'm saying is, the PlayStation 5's got power, right? On my freaking box, it says 4K 120 FPS. It says it right
Yes.
there. It doesn't say 4K or 120 FPS. It says 4K 120, right? They're
Yeah.
telling me this thing has a capability of handling 4K 120. I know it's up to the devs. I know that, guys. But hear me out. This is why the PlayStation 5 Pro is needed, because either A, Sony and the studios and all that are making games on the PS5 just don't understand the power of the PS5, and maybe they need a
Yeah.
PS5 Pro for to boost up 4K 60 and stuff like that. I don't want to choose anymore.
I
Like,
I played God of, I played God of War on the PS5.
mhm,
Had the unlocked frame rate
yeah,
60 FPS with a 4K. Looked amazing. It looked amazing.
yeah,
Like I probably played through that game like 3 times because like the PlayStation 5, as awesome as the PS5 is, it has its limitations.
right, it
Like it
does.
has
And I know a lot of people
um
are gonna give us a little crap because, oh, look, it's not 2 years old yet, guys. I know that, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the PlayStation 5 like games, maybe Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth towards the tail end of 2023, maybe they'll run 4K 60. Who knows, right? Maybe Spider-Man 2 will run 4K 60. Who knows? But right now, I'm not saying they are. I'm
more.
not confirming this. But what's to say I'm wrong and Sony comes out and Square Enix comes out and go, look, guys, we can make 4K 60 games. Good. That's what I want. Thank you. I was wrong. I didn't think that you guys are possibly going to make 4K 60 games. They're available, right? Look at Call of Duty Cold War. Like I played Black Ops Cold War. I was playing on 4K 60 or ray tracing on PS5. It had ray tracing, fella. It had ray tracing with 4K 60, and that game ran butterly smooth. I was like, holy crap, this is a next gen looking game. Like it plays fluid, has ray tracing. Like I see reflections. I was like, man, what would games look like if they had this? But some games, it's like I try play. I'll give you guys an example. I played The Last of Us Part One, the first hour and a half on my stream, right? It's over 2 weeks ago. I'm getting back at it tomorrow night on my stream on Twitch. I will be streaming The Last of Us Part One, but I tried, guys, with the fidelity mode. The game looks a little crispier. Okay, like the sign. I was looking at the sign. Just I had it paused. I went to graphics mode and performance mode. There's just a little tiny difference, but the 30 FPS felt choppy. It felt choppy. Like if you're like gonna give me a game that has a choice, 4K 30 or if I'm going to play this game in 1080p 60, I'm choosing performance mode because
Mhm.
your 30 FPS games are not running like it did on the PlayStation 4. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 4 run at a solid 30 FPS. That was fine. But for some reason, when I put games on fidelity mode other than Horizon Forbidden West, the FPS seems a little choppy. I don't know if it's like an optimizations issue or just I'm so accustomed to like higher frame rates now that 30 just doesn't please me anymore. But I can go back and play PlayStation 4 games or stuff like that that has a 30 FPS mode only, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. But for some reason,
The
these games that has like a 4K 30 mode, it's just it's like it just don't feel right. I have to put in 60 FPS mode.
the other day, I played Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
It was like 30 FPS locked in. I'm like, I play. I'm like, man, it's just kind of like a little bit, you know, like not smooth,
Yeah.
like a little bit choppy, right? And but as my eyes got accustomed to that 30 FPS, I didn't notice it anymore. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't. It's because once your eyes gets used to that frame rate. At first
Yeah.
it feels choppy, but it's like after that, it's like it's not a problem for me. That's why I played Horizon Forbidden West on fidelity mode. Then after a while, like double
Yeah.
the frame rate is nice. So double the frame rate is nice, but you are missing out on the next gen visuals when you play on the performance mode at 60 FPS. That's why
Yeah.
I Horizon Forbidden West with the fidelity mode because I really wanted to see like what truly like
Yeah.
next gen
And
the
and
game.
you should. Like, they do have a trial mode for Horizon Forbidden West if you ever want to take that chance and play it for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Give it a try. Give it a
yeah.
try. I would. If you got PS Plus Premium though, it's only under Premium. That's the only
I got
bummer, right?
extra.
Yeah, I got extra as well. I did have Premium
Yeah.
for a while, but like the classic catalogs, guys, I'm gonna tell you what, it's atrocious. Okay, don't say, well, that's because you're not a fanboy like I am. You know, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's just I'm being open. Okay,
Yeah.
the premium is fine for like trials, but even the trials catalog could be better. Like, I know they're rolling out
Yeah.
more and more throughout the year, throughout the rest of the year and early next year. We're gonna have to wait, be patient. But right now, it's not worth having PlayStation Plus Premium unless there's a dedicated game that you want to pay for, like, for that month and play that game and beat it. Then I'm subscribed from it. It's that simple. For some of the classic titles that you want to play right now, pay for the 1 month fee. Play that game. It's like you bought the game, like you bought the game or rented it from like a family video store. They're charging $20 a night or $20 for the month to rent it. And then when you're done with it, you cancel the subscription fee. It's just like you took the video back and go, here you go. I'm done with the game. I want to rent another one. Right now, extra is a perfect balance, especially for those that are coming over to PlayStation for the first time because, boom, you get the PlayStation Plus collection, you get the PlayStation Plus Extra, which gives you a whole bunch of AAA first-party games like you missed out on. Maybe
Great.
it wasn't part of the PlayStation. There's people I talked to that said I never had a PlayStation of my own since like the PlayStation 2 era or
Mhm.
PlayStation 3. Like, they skipped on PlayStation 4 because either like financial reasons, it's just like they was on Xbox for a while, like because their friends were on Xbox, so they moved over to Xbox. But like now they got a PlayStation 5, and like they're like, what I do? I go, you know what? Get yourself PlayStation Plus Extra. You are not gonna be
Oh,
disappointed. Trust me, you're gonna have so many games on your hands. You don't know how you're gonna fit this on your busy schedule. Like, but it's worth
yeah.
it. It's worth it. So
I was looking through the catalog the other day. I'm like, dude, they've got like the biggest PlayStation hits. Like they have Uncharted, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn's on there, Days Gone.
yeah,
Like the biggest Detroit Become Human. They have like the biggest PlayStation hits on PlayStation Plus Extra. So make sure the first thing you do when you get the PS5, PS Plus Extra.
yeah.
There's,
And I
there's
highly
there's-
recommend you guys. I highly recommend you play Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. You will not be disappointed. If you
you
never
will
play a
not.
JRPG, if you ever was a little hesitant about Final Fantasy, give Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade a chance. I know a lot of
And
people hype that up like big, like me, but if you guys are not big fan on JRPGs, that's fine. But if you're hesitant, give that game a chance. It is a critically acclaimed game for a reason.
it
It's,
is.
yeah,
And you know, there's like so many games on extra that like, I'm like, dude, how am I gonna have time to play? I'm not gonna have time to play all these games.
right.
Not, I'm not. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna take like a 5 minute break. 5 minute like intermission. I gotta go run to the bathroom.
Yeah,
But
you
I
go
will be
ahead and do
back.
that. I'll hold the fort.
All right.
I'll hold the
Thanks.
fort. Yeah. Go ahead and do your thing, and I'll
All
keep
right.
talking. But anyways, guys, just like we said, PlayStation Plus Extra, if you're new to PlayStation 5, PlayStation Plus Extra is fine. It's probably the best bet for you. But if you can't, if you know, especially if you can't afford to buy like 60, $70 games at a time, I would just automatically just get the PlayStation Plus Extra. You won't be dissatisfied, disappointed. What was I going to talk about? See, what else is on the menu? We could talk about, I guess, other news. If you guys probably don't know, the God of War Ragnarok controller. You guys saw the state of play. If you have not saw it, go ahead and watch it. But I'm gonna say this right now: pre-orders do go live on September 27th, which is next Tuesday. It's on the PlayStation Direct, 100%. 1000%. That's what a lot of sources are saying. As far as other retailers, I'm not sure. They're only going to have a limited supply. I'm going to try to get one. I do have the gray camouflage one ordered. But if I land the God of War Ragnarok one, I will cancel the gray camouflage one. Um, so I'm excited about that. Other news is we should be seeing. What we got? We got the PlayStation Plus. The PlayStation Plus games are out. I forgot to go on. I gotta go online and claim those for the month. I forgot. I forgot to claim those. Oops. Um, I keep forgetting to do that. I gotta start claiming those PlayStation Plus games. So if you guys haven't done that, make sure you do that as well. As far as PlayStation news goes, we do have. Hopefully, we get the PlayStation event like as we thought. Hopefully, we get that announcement probably next week. I would like to see them like start off October strong, because they won't be able to do one like late October because Capcom's got the Resident Evil showcase, which is Resident Evil 4 showcase. They're gonna showcase that. They might have other projects of Resident Evil in the works. Um, they'll have probably pre-orders. Usually they have like pre-orders for that game then. Um, So yeah, I just think that the PlayStation event is going to happen in October. I did say late September, but it's going to point. I think Sony's going to wait because they like to show off Final Fantasy 16. Um, so we got that. I'm not sure what else is going on this month for gaming wise. Not a whole lot other than I'm definitely going to be getting back to streaming. I'll be streaming The Last of Us Part 1 throughout this rest of this week. So if you guys want to see me do that, you guys know what to do. Follow me on Twitch. It's J19 Shugs, SHUGZ. So feel free to give me a follow on this. And he is back. He is back. So,
Howdy, y'all.
anyways, I was telling everybody about we should get PlayStation event showcase news
Yeah.
announcement probably in a week or so. I think that Sony
Mhm.
should start off October with a bang because they can't do
Yeah.
it late October because you probably know around Halloween and that they're gonna have the Resident Evil showcase, which is a massive showcase by Capcom. Um, I did tell them. I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if you listen. You probably didn't hear this. You do know about the God of War Ragnarok controller pre-orders, right?
Yeah, I've heard about it. They announced it in the State of Play.
Yeah, it's going live next Tuesday, the 27th. So I like telling everybody I'm gonna try to land one. I
Yeah.
do have the gray camouflage ordered,
You
but
do? Okay.
if I get the God of War Ragnarok one, you know I'm canceling that other one. The God of
Yeah.
War Ragnarok one, I want that because I wanna. That'd be cool to have, right? I'm all hyped up for God of War Ragnarok. I'll
Mm.
hold up my awesome God of War Ragnarok controller, get all hyped up, and we be ready to stream that on November 9th, 2022. So,
I mean, look, man, I've um I have already 2 controllers here.
Yeah.
I feel like buying 3 controllers would be like a little bit much. Because I already
Yeah.
have
My problem.
controllers.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
I had okay. So the controller you get for the PlayStation 5 automatically, the right one. But I bought the one in October, right? Before I got my system. You heard about that. Um.
Yeah.
So you probably wonder why I got the black controller. Well, I had the 2 white controllers, but one of my white controllers had a drifting issue, which
Oh.
sucks, right? As a gut punch. It felt like the same gut punch like it did with the Final Fantasy 16 2023 summer release. I was like, oh. So, anyways, I ordered the black one. So I've been playing with the black one. I had 2 white ones sitting around. My other white one is good. I somehow got mixed up. I got rid of I thought I got rid of the one with drifting. I got rid of the white one that still worked. So I still got the drifting one over here. I'm mad at myself, man. It's like, come on. How did I get these 2 mixed up? So I threw because I wanted to go play with the white one, the black one's charging, and it started drifting. I go, you gotta be shitting me, man. I made a mistake. So that's
I
why I
had
had
that same issue with my PS4 controller. You know what I did? Contact Sony support. They will help you out. I shipped my controller to Sony. They
yeah,
fixed it, but I had to pay like $20 shipping,
yeah,
which is not bad. Right? It's not bad. $20 for shipping,
yeah.
and it came like brand new. It came like brand new. So that's what I suggest.
Yeah, I'll just I'll keep the controller. Just have it as a might send it back in. But I do want the God of War Ragnarok one. I I already put my I want it. I want to get it. If I can't land it, I'll keep the camouflage one. It'd be
How much
cool.
is it? How much is it gonna cost?
The
$70.
God of War one, I'm gonna say it can't be any more than 74.99. It cannot be. If
Okay.
I'm already predicting 80, but if 80 is like the long stretch. If they make this $100 controller, I'm
No,
no, I'm
no,
cutting it. I'm not getting it.
no.
No, because my medical bill, I just got my medical bill today. It's a lot
Yeah,
cheaper than I thought.
it's good.
Yeah, it's gonna help me out as far as my budgeting. So I definitely want to
Yeah.
get this controller, and that's it for controllers. I'm not buying any more. So Sony,
No.
please don't tease me a Final Fantasy 16 controller, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it, Sony. Don't do it, Square. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Or what if they make a Spider-Man 2 controller?
Oh
That'd be
man.
cool.
Oh man. Made my side hit just thinking about oh. But anyways, is
Oh,
there
my stomach.
is there any other topics you want to discuss? I kind of ran out of ideas. Like
Oh, really?
I'm out of ideas. We talked about everything on the list, I thought. Look through your notes and see what we
Look
didn't
on the
talk
note.
about.
Oh, we forgot the most important one. Iron Man game. The Iron Man game.
Oh, Iron Man game. Yeah, you talked about it. You showed it off. That's exciting. Iron Man game. I never played any kind of Iron Man. I watched Iron Man movies. It's cool.
Yeah.
But Avengers, everybody saw it's pretty cool. Yeah, the marketing and stuff for that. I didn't buy into hype. I am so glad I didn't because that game is trash. Like people play the Avengers, like it started out great, like it had a story and stuff to it. As soon as it got to like the multiplayer aspects, the game went.
Ugh.
It died off. It went from cool a concept. I'm glad I didn't buy in. The characters look goofy, man. Back in 2019 when they show off the trailer, I'm like, what? It looked like plastic. I'm like, I don't want this. But anyways, an Iron Man game. If an Iron Man game would be awesome. Like who's developing it?
Um, the developers are EA Motive Studio.
Okay, so EA's behind it. That could be
I'll
good.
put the
It could be good.
article.
It could be good. Could be good. If you want to pull up, yeah, pull up the article. You can read it to the class, or read it to me. And
Okay,
we're not in the classroom.
we covered Iron Man game today.
All right, focus.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I know you're excited. You're excited to talk about Iron Man.
No, I'm excited. I love talking about video games.
That's right.
Um, okay, so get ready for an all-new Iron Man game from Marvel Entertainment and EA Motive Studio. It says here, uh, Marvel Games is teaming up with Motive Studio to to collaborate an all-new single-player third-person action adventure Iron Man video game. Now in early development, the game will feature an original narrative that taps into the rich history of Iron Man, channeling the complexity, charisma, and creative genius of Tony Stark, and enabling players to feel what it's like to truly play as Iron Man. The Motive Studio team is led by Oliver Prolix, who brings experience working on past Marvel titles like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's joined by a dedicated team of passionate industry veterans, include, including Ian Fraser, Malin Lemnu, and G.F. Porler at the Montreal-based studio. We are thrilled to collaborate the with the talented teams over at over at Motive Studio. Um, it continues on. Let's see here that to bring their original vision of one of Marvel's most important, powerful, and beloved characters, said Bill Rosman, Vice President and Creative Director at Marvel Games. Their experience delivering both established entertainment worlds and thrilling gameplay, combined with their authentic passion for the armored icon, will fuel our quest to deliver a love letter to a legendary hero in the form of the Ultimate Iron Man video game. It's an honor and privilege to have the opportunity to make a video game based on the most iconic superheroes and entertainment in the industry. We have a great opportunity to create a new, unique story that we can all call our own. Marvel is encouraging to create something. We have a lot of freedom, which is so engaging for the team. The game currently is in pre-production phase, with more updates to follow as it gets further along in development. This marks an exciting new collaboration between Marvel and EA, with Iron Man being the first of several new games. So what do you think, team?
It sounds like they got a really ambitious Iron Man game. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, but I do need to see footage of the game. But right now, I'm
Yeah,
intrigued. I'm gonna keep this in the
I,
back of my mind. I'm gonna keep this in the back of my mind. But as soon as we see gameplay of it, I'm definitely gonna give my thoughts on it. I'm
yeah,
interested.
yeah. I'm
How about
interested.
you?
For me, just Insomniac. Looking at Insomniac games and EA, I'm like, it's like, do we really have to say anything?
Yeah,
Insomniac is like,
well, what Insomniac does great about their game, what their Marvel games like Spider-Man, and most importantly Wolverine, is
Wolverine. Yeah.
they're gonna put their own idea. Like Spider-Man, the two Spider-Man games that they made were a combination of what Marvel Spider-Man is all about, but with their
Mhm.
own envision, right?
Yeah.
Not Activision Spider-Man. If you compare the two, like Insomniac and Activision Spider-Man games, it's
Yeah.
different, right?
Hmm.
It's similar, right? Similar because Spider-Man, but you can tell that Insomniac's got their blueprint on Spider-Man, what they think Spider-Man is, and we know dang well that Wolverine's gonna be the same way. And a lot of Marvel fans are actually interested in seeing what Insomniac can do with other Marvel hero games. You know,
Yeah.
take
I
like
think really,
take any of them, take any of the Marvel heroes. I don't know all of them, but like take any of them and put them in front of Insomniac, they would make a triple A, big budgeted, highly successful game because Insomniac are good at that. Like,
yeah. I I feel like with the Iron Man game, you really have to nail. it- they have to like nail like how to make the perfect flying, like flying
right,
as Iron Man. You have to nail that, because that's gonna
yeah,
be one of the core
his
experiences.
powers, like his flying around, it's got to feel natural, like the movies and stuff like that we're grown accustomed to. Like whoever you're gonna use, like voice actor wise, he's gonna have to nail the role, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Iron Man, And you also gotta be able to do what? Like, instead of him flying around, his attacks, it's gotta feel like legit. It's gotta feel like impactful. Because,
Mhm.
we all know who Iron Man is. Like, he's got some impactful attacks, and the way he flies around, it's gotta be fluid. It's gotta be like, when you play as the Iron Man game, you play as Iron Man, you say, this is the Iron Man game. You don't want to play Iron Man game and go, man, this feels like Spider Man without webs. We can't have that, right?
Yeah, I want to have like for me, my hope is I want to get like the same experience from Marvel Spider-Man, but like transition it to Iron Man. You know,
Yeah,
like I want to be able to play as Iron Man. I want to be able to use his superpowers, his lasers, his beams. You know, I also one of the most important things. I want a
yeah,
great story. I want good characters. You know, because you know
absolutely.
a game has great gameplay, then that's good. But what's a game with great gameplay but with bad story? You know, you
Right.
gotta have both. You gotta have great story and great gameplay to make just an overall fantastic game. You know?
Oh yeah. Like, the first thing for me is gameplay. Gameplay's first. Like, gameplay's first. If you can sell me
Mm.
on the gameplay, like, the story and characters are second. Like, if those like bonuses, right? Like, look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, I know the characters. Like, as soon as I know about the characters and like the story and stuff, like that was like a big major bonus, like nostalgia bonus. But the gameplay was what I was worried about the most. But as soon as I found out the gameplay is so much fun, and like Square Enix nailed it, like the perfect balance between turn-based and action. The game was a masterpiece. I just like with Iron Man. Like, if Iron Man's gameplay is actually smooth, it makes you feel like you're immersed as Iron Man. Like, the story and
Right.
the character can be good as well. Like, that's a bonus. But if the gameplay is really fun and the story's kind of just there to help move things along, that's fine. But the gameplay's fun and gets me immersed in the gameplay, I'm sold. Like,
Me, I care. Yeah, for me, I care more about story.
yeah,
You know, obviously gameplay. It's like one of the most important things in the game. But for me, the reason why I play games is like to get lost in the story.
yeah,
You know, I'm playing a game. You know, the gameplay it's fun, but you know, when I play a game, like the main reason why I bought a PlayStation is to be like lost in the story. You know, I want to have
yeah,
great character. You know, I want to be invested within the character.
yeah.
But like Detroit Become Human, all you do in that game is like move your move your stick around and make choices by clicking these buttons. But I still loved it because the story absolutely carried it all the way through.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
It's just
it was
like,
not there.
yeah,
There's no gameplay, but the story was there, and that's all that mattered. Detroit Become Human is a very it's like an interactive story
yeah.
within a game, right?
Oh
Which
yeah,
I absolutely
it's just like Dying Light 2. Like, Dying Light 2 for me, like, the gameplay is what drove it, but the story and like the characters were like second to none as well. Like, a lot of people like to cut down Dying Light 2, so, oh, it's just a, it's just a game with zombies in it, and like nobody really gave a crap. But they said the story sucked. But for me, I thought the story stuck out. Like, the
yeah.
story, like, that's why gameplay, story, and characters, like, the top three I look forward to. And people said, well, you can't include level design. You can't say level design is one of your critiques because that's the same thing as gameplay. It's a different form of gameplay, but if the gameplay is fun, like, say, Final Fantasy VII Remake, the gameplay is fun, or God of War Ragnarok, the gameplay is fun, but the level design can be a little off, and he was like,
Mhm.
you know what? This is fine, but like the level design, it could be a little better. I just like, what's another game that I liked a lot? Um, that the level design was a little off. I'm trying to think. I don't. I guess there's some games out there like level design could be a little, but like the gameplay, story, and the characters just drive it, right? It's a driving force. So it's like that to me, like art's another one. Like, if I see like incredible art, like, my goodness, like even some games that people won't play, like Tales of Arise, it's got great art. um like Star Ocean games have great art. I
Ghost of Tsushima.
play Ghost of Tsushima, like, that's got art too. Like, just like just
Ghost of
going around and
Tsushima
like,
is Ghost of Ghost of Tsushima. It's like a painting. It's
hmm
like someone drew a beautiful island on a painting, and it became a video game.
oh,
That's what it
you
is.
ever play that game on the PS5?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, I played a DLC on the PS5 version, and the immersion you have with the controller and the way the game looks on PlayStation 5 is mind-boggling. Like,
Oh my
if I
god.
had that same experience on the PlayStation 4, like, let's say if I first originally played Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation 5, like that game would get like a 9.5 out of 10. It's that good. Now,
That's
the gameplay wise, I'm like, I gotta get used to the gameplay, but once it clicks, the gameplay just works for a samurai game.
what
It just
I
works.
think Ghost of Tsushima is like one of the perfect games that it balances story and gameplay perfectly. Like
Yeah,
perfectly. It's a great story, it has great gameplay.
yeah,
You know, I love just riding around on my horse and killing Mongols, you know. And
yeah.
man, on PlayStation 5, oh my god. Like, you know, I just like there was one scene where I was just sightseeing for like an hour, like looking at the ocean and Nikki Island. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It can-
And I know we went off on a tangent there, folks, but it's just giving us our examples of what like we want to see in games, like between the two of us. Like we got different. It was like he
Yeah.
focuses on story and characters. Me is gameplay first, but me and him both got those three in our top three, right? They got a mixed match. So the Iron Man game,
You
we're both intrigued. We're
know,
both intrigued, but
yeah,
it's got to hit those three areas: gameplay,
yeah.
story,
Story
characters.
characters. And
Whatever
also,
order you have it in, it's got to hit to be really super good.
um,
Um,
or, I'm gonna list them by order. Okay, I
okay,
want uh, rich, deep story, great characters, great gameplay, and then uh, I want like great environments. You know,
right.
like because environments matter. You know, what, what they kind of could do because Iron Man is in New York City, right? I could be wrong. He
Yeah,
lives in.
I think I'm not sure to be honest.
Yeah, okay,
I'm not sure
but
to be honest, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like you want to see some gorgeous like beautiful views and stuff like that, especially flying around Iron Man, just going over like you see like water in the background, mountains.
oh my gosh,
What a sunrise or sunset. Just feed
you
me.
want feeding.
Yeah, yeah. Feed me. So, anyways, guys, I think if overexposure don't have anything else to talk about, I think
One
we
more
okay. What's one more thing?
I'm just, I'm just so mind blown that you be Elder and was Ratchet and Clank.
No, we're not gonna have that episode again. All right, guys. Before we have ourselves a laughing fest, I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna end it here. It's been a wonderful podcast. Thank you guys for listening in. I'm your host J19 with my friend of mine here over Exposure. We thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you guys want more or less talk PlayStation news podcast, anything to with gaming wise, anything of the nature, feel free to drop a like, give me a follow on Twitch and YouTube, and I'll have links in the description below for my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. You guys know what to do now. You guys know what to do. Feel free to follow me on both of those. Just come to join Discord. We can talk more about Let's Talk PlayStation podcast. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's been fantastic. I had fun, and he can't stop laughing about it right there, Quake. So anyways, I'll let him have the
Thank
final word, and we'll sign off. So any closing thoughts?
you guys for tuning in. You know, we have a blast recording these podcasts, talking about gaming news,
Yes.
PlayStation news, Final Fantasy news, all that good stuff. So if you guys do want more content, So be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications to be immediately notified when a video goes live. And with
That's
that
right.
said, I think we can end it.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining, and we'll talk to you on the next time we are on Let's Talk PlayStation Podcast. I'm your host, J19 Exposure. Thank you guys for joining us, and be safe out there, be nice to each other, and most importantly, please take care of yourselves. Watch what you eat. Make sure everything you handle is handled with care. And please, 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 don't eat undercooked chicken, because that caused a whole lot of issues. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care. Love you guys. God bless.